Good evening, Ape Nation. Guys, what's going on? It is Friday, January 28th, 2022. And I never thought I'd be able to say this again, but AMC had a green day today. We finished up just over 4%, closing out at 1506 on the day. And the market in general took a little bit of a rebound today. I was watching Jeff Forbes the other day. He was talking about the market in general, and he was just noting that historically we've always had nice bounces, something I talked about last week. We've always had nice bounces after these corrections. And all we can hope and pray is right now in retail is that this swing comes sooner than later. All I know is after a year of this battle, I'm tired and I'm ready to collect on my investment. All right, so there's a lot I want to get to today, a lot of things I want to talk about. But before we get too far ahead of ourselves,
cue the speeder.
This is the way.
okay, so a couple things we got to get to. First and foremost, I want to give a shout out to the Apefather for going down to Vesey Street today to the SEC and his accomplice Bill for protesting. At least someone's doing something to bring some attention to this play. I'm going to find out later on tonight how it went, but I appreciate them sticking their necks out there for the rest of us. I also saw a video from the Common Investor. I know some of you guys have talked about him, that you watch him. He just made a video called Chicken at 900 and perhaps my final message. Seems like everybody's just abandoning ship all of a sudden. And now today, Friday, we have a green day. So we'll see what happens. But so shout out to those guys. I don't know if the Common Investor's coming back, but I enjoyed some of his material. So let's talk about the market in general. We did get a little nice bounce. Where are we headed? If you ask me sitting here today on January 28th of 2022, what are the biggest issues we're dealing with? How do we get things back to normal? Well, I'd say there's three areas that we need to work on consistently this year. And that's going to be inflation, the amount and inferiority of the rate hikes, and supply chain issues. Last night I came across this interview between Joy Reid from MSNBC and Mayor Pete, who is the Secretary of Transportation. That means he's in charge of all the transportation in the United States. That's roads, highways, trains, planes, and automobiles. As I'm about to cue up this video for you guys, this just came across my news feed about a major bridge collapse in Pittsburgh. And you're going to see exactly why I find this so upsetting, and you should too. Now, we've been hearing for over a year that the supply chain is a problem. I don't know what they're possibly laughing at right now. But we're about to jump into this interview, and I'm going to pull some excerpts I think you might enjoy.
Cue the video.
That everything that we were worried about is better, but look how much better off we are than we were a year ago. The president arrived to a deeply, frighteningly divided country. We still are, but was able to deliver major legislation on a bipartisan basis with the infrastructure bill. A year ago in the economy, the president inherited an economy that was in grave, grave danger. A year later, of course, there's more to be done on the economy, but we have the unemployment rate below 4%.
You know what really amazes me about this clip, more than anything, more than what he's even saying? He goes on to Joy Reid's platform on MSNBC on the Readout to talk about how divided the country is and how there's still a lot of work to do. And if you have any questions on why am I picking on Joy Reid, very simple answer to that question.
On Sunday, human remains believed to be petitos were found in a national park in Wyoming. No family should ever have to endure that kind of pain. And the Petito family certainly deserves answers and justice. But the way this story has captivated the nation has many wondering, why not the same media attention when people of color go missing? Well, the answer actually has a name, missing white woman syndrome, the term coined by the late and great Gwen Ifill to describe the media and public fascination with missing white women like Lacey Peterson or Natalie Holloway, while ignoring cases.
And that is why, my friends, from time to time, I pick on Joy Reid, because I feel like she's a race baiter. And Mayor Pete has come up with some answers on how to solve these supply chain issues going forward.
Cue the video.
Let me ask you this question. Do you think it was a mistake looking back? Because, you know, the infrastructure bill that was passed was cleaved apart from what's now being called Build Back Better. And in a sense, it's a bill that's like a white guy employment act, right? There's going to be a lot of working class men that are going to get employed by that bill, but that's the very cohort that is much more likely to reward Republicans for that. That's who they vote for. Most, you know, working class white guys vote Republican. Meanwhile, all the stuff for the women, for, you know, for moms, for people who need child care, for people of color, that's going to affect climate, which young people really care about, you know, extending the child tax credit, all the stuff that helps families and women and younger people and, you know, people with college debt.
It benefits one part of the population. I get where you're coming from and what you're saying, but look, you look at something like the investment in transit, you know, it's Americans of color, commuters of color who are most likely to depend on that. You look at the jobs we're going to create, and yeah, they have been traditionally white and male, but it doesn't have to stay that way. We are working with a lot of focus at the direction of the president to make sure that everything from the contracting opportunities for small business to the labor opportunities for workers, fixing the bridges, installing the electric vehicle charging stations, are more likely to be workers of color, are more likely to be women. We're working on.
When I hear the word infrastructure, I think airplanes, airports, bridges, highways, truckers, and trains. And speaking of trains, what in the F is going on in L.A.?
Cue the video.
Train robberies have long been a Hollywood staple, but in 2022, they're still happening.
I see what everybody's seeing and asking myself, what the hell is going on? I mean, look like a third world country, these images.
These tracks near downtown Los Angeles covered in ransacked packages, including everything from electronics to high-end items. With a spike during the holiday season, October saw a 356% increase compared to the year before.
If thefts increase, so does the cost of transportation, so does the cost of manufacture, which impacts the consumer.
And we are not condoning what's happening here.
Well, how about that? The governor of California, Gavin Newsom, does not condone federal theft of people's property on trains. Hallelujah. We can sit here all day and talk about childcare and making sure that there are going to be jobs available for women and people of color in the future, and climate change. I think those are all noble causes and things that we should continue to push for. But in the meantime, maybe we need to fix up the actual infrastructure. Maybe like we should start fixing the bridges that are falling down, killing people, fixing the airports where you can't find a flight. 50% of the flights have been canceled over the last 3 months. Can't find a flight for under $400 anywhere in the country. And maybe putting the kibosh on train robberies in 2022. And guys, I hate to bring this up, but the real reason why this is continuing to happen is because the district attorney in Los Angeles is trash, and he came in with this new agenda on not punishing basically for any crimes unless you murder or rape someone. But the mainstream media doesn't want to talk about that. They don't want to talk about the DA, how he's not prosecuting any cases. They just want to bring attention to the news story because it gets clicks. All right, guys, and I'll leave you with this story. It's from CNN Business yesterday. Tesla reports record profit, but warns of continued supply chain issues. And there it is right there for you in black and white. We're having problems with the supply chain. Therefore, we're having problems in the market. A couple announcements. Live stream Sunday night, still on for 7 o'clock. I have a video coming out tomorrow about the U.S. dollar. Some things, some stories I've dug up that you might find interesting. And like I said, for the loonies out there, Lou ain't going nowhere. How many videos did he make today? 9? Don't worry about it. Lou's safe and sound. He'll be uploading all night. And guys, as always, thank you for all the views, the likes, the comments, new subscribers, my OGs. I appreciate each and every one of you. We're here to break the wheel. This is Ape Nation. I'm the Massalorian, and I'm out.